that one belief eliminated from your brain could change the course of your reality. Would you want that? It's not for everyone, only the brave. Those who want to own their life like the powerful leaders they were born to be. A pivotal moment can change everything. Now, here's the host of Crossroads to Awakening show, Wendy Paquette.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crossroads to Awakening show. I'm your host, Wendy Paquette, and I'm a holographic mind reprogrammer. I help humans stuck at a crossroads awaken to their true selves and change the world from where they stand. Because I believe as a high-frequency human, you see your life as the direct reflection of the programs that are etched into your brain. And those programs can easily be shifted when you see your truth for exactly what it is. So like your life or don't like your life, you're seeing a reflection of program. If you don't like it, that's when we get to talk, because there's something that gets to be shifted. And why would you wait to the end of your life to shift that? You get to live joyfully in it, peacefully now, right? So welcome. Wow, this Power of Focus episode is going to knock your socks off, because what it's really going to do for you is gift you the ability to see what you're not paying attention to. I mean, how many times have you said to yourself, oh, this isn't working? Like you own a business and you're doing something in your business and you're finding that it's just not functioning. It's just not going the way you thought it would go. You find yourself saying it's not working more than you're actually focusing, keyword, on what you're up to. So let's dive in and see what we can create from this space so that you can actually utilize the power of focus to get what you want. Super, super simple. So I have 5 freedoms to the power of focus, right? These are the 5 things that I absolutely adore. And it supports me in creating what I want, because focus is the number one key, right? Where energy goes, or where you focus, or your energy or your insight goes, then energy flows. So it's a continuous flow of paying attention, and that requires the power of focus. So let's see if you can identify with some of these 5 freedoms so that you can lean into whatever it is you want and actually have it, instead of, be irritated by the fact that you don't have it. So listen, let me see. This episode is for you if you're living your life and you're frustrated at where you're at. Like you're just not figuring it out. And you know that you're intelligent, and you know that you're capable, and you know that you're running at the top of your game, and it's just not working. Something's not working. You just don't know what it is. So if you're at your wit's end of your wit's end, this is for you. If you're all over the map, like literally you just don't know what to look at first, and you're sort of sitting in the space of confusion or overwhelm, then this episode is for you. If you are that person who is, finally giving yourself permission to lean into what you'd actually want for your life, maybe you're going to change careers, you don't know how to do it, and you're kind of wobbling between both ideas or both realities, then this is for you. So hang on to your hats, because we're going to move through the power of focus. So the first freedom in the power of focus is cultivating your Olympic or champion mindset, right? Cultivating it. Like imagine sitting through your day, and at the end of the day, you look back and you're saying, you know what? My life's not working, or my business is not working, or I'm not generating money. Something's just not working. And you realize that when you track your day, you didn't do a damn thing. Right? You can look at the list that you had, and you might have got one thing out of the 20 things done. You could look at your schedule, and you may have gotten all those things done. But at the end of the day, you haven't sold anything in your business. You haven't activated a new client. You're really not getting to the point where you're satisfied. At the end of the day, like you're inspired to, finish out the rest of your day, go to bed, and wake up thrilled to start your day again, because you're so damn successful. And so in this space, cultivating your Olympic or champion mindset means, what are you doing in order to ensure your success? What are you doing? Are you doing anything to ensure your success? Are you setting up your game plan to win right from the very beginning? Or are you just winging it, hoping that you'll land in the right spot? So what the power of focus does in this case is what does your actual Olympic game plan look like? Where are you pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone in order to win at this game that you created, right? This life game that you've created. Now, you could look at this from every aspect. You can look at it from a relationship standpoint, how to manage your family, how to, skyrocket in your business, how to generate money. You can use it for any which way from Sunday, but you get to set yourself up for success. So I'm seeing in here, Christine is putting, what does your Olympic game look like? And that is exactly how I would word it. What does your Olympic game look like? Does it look like strolling out of bed at 10 o'clock in the morning because you just have no real reason to get up before then? Or does it look like setting your alarm early, 5 or 6 a.m., getting up, getting a big glass of water with lemon, right? Alkalizing that body. Then sitting for 15 to 20 minutes in silence, creating that still point, creating that connection to the divine or, higher intelligence so that you can pull through all the things you require for your day. Then moving into maybe maybe you love juicing or maybe you love having a great breakfast, then having the fuel that activates every physical cell in your body so that your game is on. You are like ready to go. You're super fueled. Your mind is fueled. Your body is fueled. And then stepping into your day with your laid out beautiful plan with maximum 3 things on it that you know for sure get to get done before your day is complete. And in order to ensure that you get to put a timeline on when it gets to be completed by. Because, it's that age-old saying, give someone, an inch and they'll take a mile. Well, that's you, right? That's you in this space of, well, you know what? I have all day. And so you'll take it instead of saying, you know what? My day ends at 3 p.m. every day. Every day that I work, my day ends at 3 p.m. So I sure as heck better get those things done. And when I'm complete those things, if there's more things that I feel like doing, I can do them. And those are added like bonus on top, right? Cherry on top. So cultivating your champion mindset, your Olympic mindset, sets you up for success. Olympians don't train 1 or 2 days a week and then go, oh, you know what? Like, I'll train next week. They train every single day for hours and hours and hours and hours, right? They don't let anything slide by. They're on it with their diet. They're on it with hydration. They're on it with meditation. They visualize everything. They get themselves going. They have a coach. They do everything humanly possible to ensure their success because they're like a no shit person. They're getting it done. When they get it done by is declared by them. So say they are actual Olympians. They've got an Olympic date. Maybe it's trials or something, but they're setting targets all along the way to hit them. I bet every day they have a target. So why wouldn't you have one for your life? You don't have to be an Olympian to have Olympian standards for yourself. It's in excellence in every single way. Listen, at the end of the day, you're the only one who has to face yourself. You're the one who has to put your head against the pillow and go to sleep and wake up the next day. But if you're not setting your own standards in excellence, then what are you setting them to? Mediocre? Like, I would hope not, really. But perhaps you've never looked at it from this perspective before. So creating and cultivating a champion or Olympic mindset so that you're not playing a mediocre game. You're playing a game of excellence, right? An Olympic game of excellence in your own life. That's the number one thing that I really, really attempt to tweak and own and honor and put into play every single day. I'm constantly learning about my body, what I can do to better it, constantly learning, my blood type and what that could look like, when it comes to food. And what else? My day. How is my day set up with time? Do I have time for lunch? Did I schedule my lunch in? Did I schedule in water? When am I drinking water? How am I running my system on no oil, right? Which I would say is water. So what does that actually look like? That is what I call a champion or Olympic mindset in excellence. Number 2 is ask for what you want. Ask for what you want, right? We're in this day and age when mindset is everything, but deliberate manifesting is another, right? You're starting to see that when you want something or you ask for something, it's showing up. Now, the speed at which it shows up, that's a totally different story. And you get to play in that mindset. But how do you know that you're getting what you want out of your life or out of your business or out of your family or out of your relationship if you don't know what you want. And the second thing is, how can you ask for what you want if you don't know what you want, right? I think the book is called Ask and It Is Given. Have you ever read that book? Insane. Like, just, you don't even read the book. You don't even need to read the book in order to listen to the title. Ask and it is given. Well, who do you think gives it to you? Right? Magical fairies around the corner? I don't think so. You give it to you. The energies of you. So whatever it is that you want, ask for it. You know what? I want my relationship to be amazing. I want it to feel loving. You know, I guess I'm going to set time up to spend time with the person I'm in a relationship with. Not, oh, you know what? I'm going to work my ass off and not paying attention to him. And at the same time, ask for a beautiful, loving, relationship. So you get to own your truth in that space and really ask for what you want. And when I say ask for what you want, write it down, right? The mindset of a champion or an Olympian is asking for what they want, stating it, making that declaration or that, demand or command of yourself in order to show up in excellence and have it. So if I don't know what I want, I can't actually get it. Right? That's a huge, huge key to what's truly possible in your reality. I mean, how many of you have ever asked for what you've wanted? To yourself, let alone from anyone else. Like, really. If a perfect example, and this is a silly idea, but it's going to give you kind of a little insight, a deeper insight into your everyday reality. So say you're in a relationship or you're married and your spouse is in the kitchen. And you're in the office and, and you're busy, and you're doing your thing and you're super busy and, you really need a glass of water, like seriously need a glass of water. Would you call out and say, hey, hun, mind bringing me a glass of water if you have a second while you, keep on going and doing what you're doing so you don't lose your train of thought? Or will you go, oh, you know what? I'm so thirsty. I'm either going to A, not get a drink at all, right? Not so kind to my body. Or B, I'm gonna wait until whenever and go get it myself, even though there's someone completely capable and probably willing to support you and give you what you're asking for, just because you asked for it, right? No other reason. There's multiple things that are happening there. One is, are you willing to receive when you ask for something? Two is, are you really willing to give yourself what it requires in the moment that it requires it, or at least very close to it? And three, how many times do you ignore that you're thirsty and power through? And at the end of the day, find yourself with some physical issues that you can't seem to navigate. Maybe you have allergies. Maybe you have constipation. Something that has, something to do with hydration, which is something you don't give yourself, freely or even ask for with support. It seems like a silly thing, but I bring it up because everybody does it. Right? Everybody goes through that. Or listen, setting yourself up for success would look like what? In the morning, I'm going to put, 2 liters of water in a glass bottle with some lemon in it and some ice right on my desk with a glass beside it. So at any given time that I'm thirsty, I'm going to fill that sucker up and I'm going to drink it. I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to bless it. I'm going to love that water because I love my body and I love myself enough to give it this beautiful alkaline water. Right? Whenever it requires it. Such a different way of thinking. And that goes back to number 1, cultivating the mindset of a champion or an Olympian. Like setting yourself up for success in excellence, knowing what your day is going to look like and supporting yourself in it. Right? So ask for what you want and then deliver it. So when just looking at that opportunity, it's me knowing. So I'm going to ask myself, what do I really need? You know what I need or what I want? I want to make sure that all day long I don't go thirsty. Because, it's the one thing I would say 99% of the world is dehydrated and we have a plethora of water. So setting myself up for success would be asking myself what I want and then delivering it, right? That's an excellence. What do I want? I want to make sure that all day long I'm hydrated. How do I get that? In the morning, in my routine, as I'm getting a glass of water first thing in the morning, pouring a liter or 2 of cold filtered water with lemon in it and with a glass and putting it on my desk. It's so flippin' simple. And that's me focusing on what I need and what I want so that I can actually have this magnificent day set up for success based on my focus and my intentions for my day. So geez, you think it'd be hard, but it's not. It just takes dedication and desire to win. So, you know what? Who doesn't desire to win? I mean, some people don't. Don't get me wrong. I'm not assuming. I do. I like to be happy and joyful in my life, and I'm the creator of it. So therefore, of course, I desire to win. Win at my game, win at my own game of life. So as we're going into our first break, listen, you're listening to me, Wendy Paquette. This is the Crossroads to Awakening show. And to me, what that means is you're at the crossroads to awakening to your greatest self right here, right now. We're on the Inspired Choices Network. And how does it get any better than that? Inspired choices. And we're talking about the power of focus on this episode. You know what? Sounds pretty exciting. We'll have more to come. We have 3 more ways that you can nail your power of focus when we come back. We'll see you in a minute.
If you could wave a magic wand and have your life be anything you wanted it to be, what would it look like? Professional dancer, CEO of a multi-million-dollar earth-conscious company, a screenwriter with top billing shows, and ultimately have the boldness to move about the world without emotional blocks standing in your way, therefore having the confidence to achieve anything you put your mind to. That's what Wendy Paquette knows is possible for you. The first step is understanding why you don't believe it too, or why you do, and yet haven't created it. Put on your possibility goggles and join Wendy now, because you're at the Crossroads to Awakening.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Crossroads to Awakening radio show with your host, Wendy Paquette. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to me, Wendy Paquette, on the Crossroads to Awakening show. We're talking about the power of focus and the 5 freedoms of the power of focus. So, it's the one thing that I know in my reality that creates everything that I want. Because when I focus on something, I always get it. Now, listen, there is a downside to that. Because if I focus too long on something I really don't want, it shows up as well. Now, I've learned over the years to catch myself in that moment and shift my focus out of what I don't want into what I would want. So that's solving problems, like self-coaching, right? So if any of you have done any kind of leadership, or if you're a coach yourself, you know that if you self-coach, there's very little time that you're going to spend a breakdown. Very little time spending looking at your life from the negative side, or feeling like you're in breakdown all the time, or wondering what's wrong with you, or what kind of, crappy cards you were dealt. You're going to see that and go, ooh, I don't want to create that. I'm not bringing that forward. It's certainly not putting my focus on it, because that's what will happen. It will arrive. This is the place of science. When you focus on something, it activates and comes into this reality. And more, our frequencies are raising so high that it's happening faster and faster. And if you're not aware of it, just look at what's actually happening, or mind your thoughts, mind your mind, right? See where your thoughts are going. Take check of where they're going into a negative direction, and check that with the emotions of your day. Like, how much of your day are you spending wishing you were somewhere else, had something else, were doing something else, making more money, blah, blah, blah. Instead of looking at what you really want, turning what you don't want instantaneously and what you do want, and using those crappy thoughts as the bouncing board into something that you do want. Because when you put your focus on something, you are literally taking your reticular activating system, turning it on, and showing yourself all the steps to get there if you haven't gotten there yet. So you're leaning into focusing on what a great day would look like. What do you think that a great morning is just one morning? Or do you feel like it actually ripples out into your life in every which way? What if you having a great morning caused your spouse to have a great morning just because they were witnessing it? Or your kids, right? What if your kids started having great mornings because they just truly believe that that's all they've ever seen is you make a great morning happen every day. And so they think, well, that's what you do in life, right? You make a great morning. It's that flippin' simple because the ripple is real, right? The ripple is real. Who you be in the world is what others see and what they get to choose for themselves as well. So it's not unnoticed when you create a great day for yourself. So let's lean into what the third piece of freedom is for a power of focus. And the third thing is using your insights for inspired action, right? When you're focusing on what it is that you want. So we're going to go kind of back to 2 into 1. And I keep, skipping forward and backward with all the freedoms, but you're going to see how they all go together, right? It's one big movement. But when you're focusing on what you want, there's going to be moments of insight that you come across that show you a step forward that maybe you've never noticed before. It's like suddenly an idea pops into your head. Now listen, this happens regularly and not always for the betterment of movement because you've been focusing on the negative things. You're certainly going to see negative reticular activating system points to prove to you that what you want to look at is possible. But you get to shift into what you really want from a desire place, from your heart-centered space. Like, what do you really want? What's a desire of yours? Even if it's just having a beautiful day every single day. When you're doing that, if you have an inspired moment through your intuition or your insight, do you ever act on it? That's the piece that is really, really important. Because what do you think those thoughts come into your head for? Or sometimes for me, it's a digital thought. Like it'll show up in digital somehow. It'll be, I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time on social media. It looks like I do, but I don't. And when I do see something, it's usually a message. It's something that I've been calling forward that shows up. Maybe it's in an Instagram ad. Or maybe it's one of my friends posting something really cool on Instagram. They're like, hey, have you ever tried this? I'm like, whoa, I totally just was curious about that, right? Answering my question for me. But that takes you to be aware of your insights and your intuition and leaning into inspired action. I'd be just like, oh, that's really cool. She posted that and I asked the question about it. Now I'm getting the answer. But she actually gave me a pathway. So what's my inspired action? Well, maybe I get to try it because it could have been some really simple exercise to start my day. Awesome. I was looking for a 5-minute thing to do that would activate my glutes. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go, but you get the drift, right? What is your inspired action through your insight? If I were to receive that information and do nothing, goodness, I don't even have the words. It's like divine representation delivered to you in the form of an answer, an insight, or possibility, or anything, and you're like, nah, I don't want to choose it. Makes no sense, right? I mean, you don't have to choose it, but if you are asking for it, and it arrived in the way it arrived, whatever that looks like, don't you think that you would have been the one to source that possibility for yourself, and most likely it's in your best interest because you're the sourcer of it? Like, duh, it seems so simple. Yet, how many times do we dismiss all those great things? Why? Because we're focusing on what's not working instead of what is and what we want, right? When you focus on what's not working, what do you think you're going to keep seeing? All the crap that's not working, right? You're going to see all that and go, yep, look at that, not working. Yep, look at that, confirmed, that's not working. And, to be honest, that doesn't work. That doesn't work for me. What it tells me is that what you're focusing on mostly is what's not working. What you get to shift into is a bit of, self-coaching. If you can't self-coach, then lean into myself or someone who could support you with what that looks like and perhaps give you a few tools to use so that you can shift from one perspective to another very simply so that what you want, you can actually get, not more of what you don't want. right? I don't know how many times I'll say that, but it's true. And I'm here to support you with all of that. So, that would be your inspired action. Knock, knock, knock. I'm right here at your front door. Just reach out. In many ways, you can reach me. So, and if you don't know, follow this podcast or live show or TV aspect and find me, because it's there, right? It's your desire to win, which will get you there. So that's using your inspired action. I mean, how many episodes of TV have you watched because you didn't want to do something, right? You were avoiding something. And that's not inspired action. That's avoidance, right? Where you're like, oh, I know, okay, I'm at home. I've been used to working at home now, and I have work to do, or my office to clean and organize so that my day can function beautifully. And I decided I'm going to watch like 13 episodes of Friends, which I've seen 300 million times. And the next thing you know, it's time to make dinner. The rest of my life is happening. My family's home, ready to have dinner, and now I'm tired and I just want to go to bed, and so therefore I do. And what happens? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is not an inspired action day. It's an inspired action on the other side of, I want to say laziness, but I'd say avoidance is more what it is. Because what are you avoiding? Your excellence of having a tidy workspace that you can actually get stuff done. I did that to myself yesterday, right? For a story to tell you, I decided, you know what? I am going through absolutely everything in my life, and I'm going to touch every single thing and get rid of everything that doesn't serve me right now, and everything that brings me joy I'm keeping. I tore my closet apart, touched every single piece of clothing, went through everything, organized it all, put it all away in my drawers. It's so nice and neat and tidy. Put it all in my closet. I'm really fortunate and really blessed. My husband does laundry. I don't touch laundry unless, when I touch it's because I'm supporting him and our family in doing it, but he's got it down. Like, he does it every day. And he brings it into into our bedroom or wherever it's got to go. And I usually just let it sit in a pile instead of, putting it away. Which is so disrespectful for me to do that to him, but he's so kind to actually, wash and fold it for me. Anyway, there was so many pieces of clothing. I finally decided I was going to, purge. Our whole room ended up getting clean and tidy because of it. It took me the entire day, but I felt so amazing after, and so did he, right? When he came into the room and he went to go to bed, he's like, wow, it feels so good in here, right? Because everything was done. I had vacuumed all the nook and crannies that never get touched. Everything was organized. I had a pile of stuff that was going away. Some would get donated, some to go to friends, all those fun things. Well, then that idea spilled into my office. You want to talk a mess? Clothing, easy. You can do that, like put an episode of Friends on then over and over again and fold your laundry and do your thing. That's so simple. But when you're in your office, it gets crazy. I made the biggest mess and I'm still cleaning it up. It's still all over, but it's actually in organized piles. And yesterday I had this thought. You want to talk inspired action? It was, what if I just threw it all away? Right? What if I just tossed it all out, knowing that if I required something, I had it stored somewhere, because all those printed papers got to be on my computer somewhere. And as Christine can probably nod her head in agreement with, I have them on my computer. It's so full of everything. Of course I'm going to find it somewhere. So I started that, and I ended up going through boxes and boxes of stuff, and I was able to purge so many things, and I'm not done, but I'm committed. I'm committed to this clean, tidy space, just like our bedroom. And I'm going to go room by room by room. I think I did the kitchen the other day, all the spices and everything. It just felt so good. And maybe it's fall. Who knows, right? Could be fall. So my invitation to you is follow your inspired action and watch what happens. Because when you ask for what you want, so if we go back to number 2, ask for what you want, your inspired action will be in alignment with that. Right? I wanted to feel a clean, open space where I can invite in more energy of something new. Well, if I got all my energy tied up with old stuff, energy, right? Everything is energy. How could I possibly invite in anything new? Right? If I had imagined, a filled up space energetically, where's the new stuff going to go? It's not going to have, any place to go. So just know that Inspired action happens when you ask for something. So ask for it. Ask for what you want. It feels so good just to say it out loud, just because I've been following my own footsteps and my own, rules and teachings. But anyway, we are going to go into our next break. We have 2 awesome freedoms to go through in order to activate your power of focus, like really lean in and get what you want because of it, right? Because it's all right in front of you. It's all right here, right now. It's a matter of just how you see it. So let's go into a break. You're listening to the Crossroads to Awakening show on Inspired Choices Network, and we will be right back.
If you could wave a magic wand and have your life be anything you wanted it to be, what would it look like? Professional dancer, CEO of a multi-million-dollar earth-conscious company, a screenwriter with top billing shows, and ultimately have the boldness to move about the world without emotional blocks standing in your way, therefore having the confidence to achieve anything you put your mind to. That's what Wendy Paquette knows is possible for you. The first step is understanding why you don't believe it too, or why you do, and yet haven't created it. Put on your possibility goggles and join Wendy now, because you're at the Crossroads to Awakening. This is Crossroads to Awakening radio show with your host, Wendy Paquette. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now back to the program.
All right, so we've been talking about the power of focus, and it's not as hard as you think. It's really easy, right? It's a matter of switching from realizing that you don't really focus on anything unless you're in reaction mode or you're in deliberate focus mode, right? Which starts from the moment that you get out of bed, right? It can start instantaneously or right now as you're listening to this. Just decide. The rest of the day, you're going to focus on something. Segment your focus. You know what? For the next hour, I'm going to XYZ. Or for the next 2 hours, I'm going to XYZ. Whatever that looks like. Place your focus on it and don't stop until it's complete. Now, we get to dive into number 4. Number 4 is believe in your own capabilities. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you. When you're looking at, what you like to create in your life, part of what you get is what you believe is possible. So if you're not believing in your own capabilities, then whose capabilities are you believing in? Or are you even considering that it is or isn't possible? You haven't been focusing, or I'm assuming that you haven't up until now. And the reality is this: if you haven't got a deliberate thought about what you're up to and that it is certainly possible, then you really are in the blank space of nowhere, no thing, right? Nowhere, no thing. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't really know what I want. So I'm just going to battle through my day, get to the end of the day and still feel crappy because I'm not getting anywhere, as though life gets to deliver it all by itself without you asking. It's like going, you're going to go through Starbucks, right? And you're going to sit at the window and they're going to say, "Hi, can I help you?" And you're not going to say anything. And they're going to just assume there's no one there. And then you're going to drive up to the window to collect whatever they give you. They're not even going to be at the window, let alone deliver something to you. What are they going to give you? A wave? You didn't ask for anything. So they're not going to give you anything. And that's part of how not a lot in your reality will come to you or for you or even be available for you to access because you're just not placing the order, right? You're not Starbucksing it. You're not actually asking for what you want. My favorite thing at Starbucks is the vanilla sweet cream cold brew. I just absolutely love it so much. It will get me out of my seat to get in the car to go get it. And it's really not far from my house. But I will set that as a target for myself. Go, okay, I have an hour. In an hour, I'm going to complete XYZ. And when I do, I'm going to drive myself to Starbucks and get me a sweet cream cold brew. That's how I roll. That's how I function. so that I'm treating myself every step of the way. Therefore, you know what happens? I can't have those treats unless I actually get work done. When I do, and I don't just reward myself for anything, I actually give myself rewards for things that I might have ignored before, or not taken the time, or found a way to be in avoidance, right? Like watched a couple episodes of Friends or the W Network when they have all those like rom-coms on there that you just can't stop watching. Very dreamy. But I put myself in that dreamy space and ignore and avoid my actual life. And that doesn't work, right? So Christine is saying, or on Binge. Yeah. Go on to Binge Network. You can watch these episodes of me just talking to you and looking at myself going, oh my gosh, my hair, my lipstick, whatever. You know, I'm judgy Judgerson to myself, but in a loving way because, you know, I can. I don't take myself that seriously. So believe in your own capabilities to get stuff done, right? If you know that you can get stuff done, whatever that looks like, or, you know, be present for yourself or your family or your relationships, then why wouldn't you be it? You have no excuses. It's not like I'm going to go jump out of a plane and know that you've never done it before. And so, you know, you're kind of not 100% sure that you can do it, but you're declaring something that's so outrageous. I mean, let's be honest. Now that I'm saying that word outrageous, you can make outrageous declarations, but there's also something inside of you that knows that you're 100% capable of achieving it. 100%. I'm that person who's like, you know what? I'm going to create XYZ on fire, like to the nth degree, and put a cap on it and actually go for it, knowing that I'm 100% capable, pushing myself outside my comfort zone on purpose to achieve something that I know is, you know, pretty awesome. In which case I may reward myself with something bigger than a Starbucks, but at this point, why not have fun and be joyful? And, you know, what would actually happen if you achieved that? If you actualized whatever that was into your reality because you declared it. And then you follow these steps of the power of focus in order to have what you want, right? You follow through number 1, which is cultivate the Olympic or champion mindset. Set yourself up for success. Then number 2, ask for what you want. Like ask for it. This is what I want. This is that I'm having it. Like no matter what, like no shit, I'm having it, right? Number 3 is use your insights, right? Use your intuition. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Of course not, because you never asked for it before. Following those. And number 4 was believe in your own capabilities to actually achieve it or get it or have it or experience it. Those are some pretty huge things. So let's lean into number 5. This is the biggest thing that I see that could change the way you activate your life with focus is certainty and confidence, right? Being competent at something, meaning you know that you can do it, and the more you do it well and better and better and better every single time. That competence creates confidence. And when you're confident about something, you're assuring that you're getting it, you're ensuring you're going to get it, and that creates certainty. And when you are certain about anything, not only do you know you're having it, other people do too. And you know what that creates? Absolute receiving, right? You're actually going to have it. Why? Because there's nothing standing in the way. You're focusing so laser-like on what it is that you want, that you're cultivating a champion mindset or Olympic mindset. You're asking for what you want. You're making that declaration, right? You're putting it out into the universe. You're even telling other people. The third thing is you're using your insight and your inspired action to create, right? To get in alignment. You believe in your own capabilities. And the fifth thing is having certainty and confidence and competence. So being competent, right? Competence is the ability to do something that you know you can do. That creates confidence, right? So your competence creates confidence. When you're confident, you know that you can do something. When you know that you can do something, that creates certainty. When you are certain, other people know you are certain too. So the fifth thing is competence, confidence, and certainty, right? That's with focus. Competence, confidence, and certainty. Now, there isn't anyone in the world that I believe in that isn't certain in the one thing that they're saying out loud, especially when they're teaching, right? When they're teaching something or they're sharing, information, or they're leading us or enlightening us in a direction that is supportive. They have sheer confidence, competence, and certainty. They have it. It's there. And when I know that they are certain, then I am certain. It's an energetic experience that causes you to know that what they're saying, they 100% believe in. And if they believe in it themselves and they are certain, they are so certain, then they have that like, no shit, that's what's going to happen aspect about themselves, which then you get to embody, right? So if you're going to lean in, if it's a coach or a healer or I don't even know, pick anything, they will get you where you're headed when they are certain that they can get you there. And then you are certain. And then you keep going. So the power of focus actually gets you what you want because of all these things. And there are many more things that we could talk about when it comes to that clarity of your focus. Visualization, which I talk a lot about. When you're visualizing something, it pulls things into focus, which causes clarity. Right? So there's many things that you can look at. And if you go back to some of, my prior episodes, you'll see visualization is a huge aspect of having focus because you're in allowance of something that's never been created before here on this planet to be created. Right? How magical is that? Where do you think all these amazing inventions come from? If they wouldn't be called inventions if they were done before. They came from the space in which they decided they wanted something. They were in allowance of the inspired action in order to create that thing in this reality. And then they were certain about it. They're using their insight and they were following their noses, but they have a capability to never, ever, ever give up. Right? Never, ever, ever give up. There's so many elements to the power of focus. And when you're focused, you can have anything you want. Like I am certain about that because when I want something, come hell or high water, I'm having it. And I know where my heart is. My heart's always in it. It's always in alignment with whatever I'm creating, which will benefit those around me and even outward further, those who don't even know me yet, right? I'm certain of that. So when I am, and I make a declaration based on something I'm inspired by that's not been created in this reality, my power of focus is highly important. Because that's what's going to actualize it into this world. So I'm visualizing it. I'm utilizing my intuition. I'm utilizing my insight, right? I'm going through all these steps of possibility. I'm being all those things. I happen to be them at one time because they're all present. And you know what happens? I get what I want. Always from a heart-centered space of possibility, right? And you can too. It's not a difficult thing. It's just a matter of choice. And, let's be honest. If you don't know what you want, how can you focus on it? Right? So you get to be really, really honest with yourself and see what it is you want. Pick one thing, just one thing you want, focus on it. So let's talk about maybe your health or a relationship or a business, right? One of those things always highly important. So we're going to go into a break soon. And what we'll do is when we're on this break, I want you to take out a piece of paper and pen, or if you're just, sitting somewhere where we don't have access to paper and pen, just sit and decide, ask yourself the question, what do I really want right now? Just pick something small, right? Something in your immediate future, excuse me, but what do you really want? And I want you to answer that question. And when we come back, we're going to dive into the visualization aspect of, okay, now I'm clear. It's probably going to be something that you didn't even know that you wanted because you've never even asked yourself that beautiful question, right? You can ask yourself that question every day. In a gratitude journal, you could say, what do I really want? And then be grateful for it before it even arrives. We get to talk about that too, right? There's some kind of fancy, technology that we have in our brains, in our bodies, that will pull forward that possibility so that you can actually grasp hold of it and bring it to light. So let's go into this third break. And while we're in there, don't forget, ask yourself, what do I really want? And when we come back, we're going to answer all those questions and how you can actually have it. So we will see you in a minute.
If you could wave a magic wand and have your life be anything you wanted it to be, what would it look like? Professional dancer, CEO of a multi-million-dollar earth-conscious company, a screenwriter with top billing shows, and ultimately have the boldness to move about the world without emotional blocks standing in your way, therefore having the confidence to achieve anything you put your mind to. That's what Wendy Paquette knows is possible for you. The first step is understanding why you don't believe it too, or why you do, and yet haven't created it. Put on your possibility goggles and join Wendy now, because you're at the Crossroads to Awakening. This is Crossroads to Awakening radio show with your host, Wendy Paquette. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. Now back to the program.
Okay, was that long enough? Right? Did you discover what you really wanted? Yes, welcome back to your thoughts, right? They're all over the place sometimes, and sometimes they're not. I'd say most times they are, though. And I want to know, did you come up with something that you really wanted? Were you even able to access one small thing? Or were you so all over the place you just couldn't even pick one thing? I mean, really, it's the state of humanity right now, in total confusion as to what they want. And let's face it, their priorities have been shaken up. This whole COVID experience has caused everyone to slow down, take a breath, and figure priorities in a different way. So I don't blame you for not actually having something if you didn't, but what you get to know is, how are you ever going to get anything? Honestly, how will you ever get what you want if you don't even really know one small thing? And if you did, listen, if you came up with one thing, even if it's small or medium or large, whatever it looks like, kudos to you, right? Great job, because that is the number one step, right? I didn't say that as the number one step. I said cultivate champion mindset, but I mean, for honest truth, if you don't know what you want, you won't get it. That's just the way it is, right? So, and I love the Starbucks analogy, because I can only imagine myself driving to Starbucks and not actually ordering from the order booth. I think they have video now, which is hysterical, because they, what are you gonna do? Just look into it, smile, wave, and keep on going. So you can imagine yourself now ordering from the universe in the way, and I say universe, your universe, you are the universe, you are your universe, right? Look around you. You created everything that you have in front of you, which is your universe. So you created it, and make a declaration. Ask, this is what I want, and this is why I want it. I mean, we can get deep into that, because underneath the ask is the why. Right? The anchoring to having it is answering the why question to the what it is you want. Okay, so we're kind of going like a little deeper underneath that. Yes, there's a million steps to this, and there's a million ways that you can activate it. But listen, you will get what you want by mere asking. If you're unclear, you get to get clear. And how you get clear is asking yourself why you want it. Like, really, why do you want that? What will that create for you or for others or your world or your reality? What does that look like? And when you have a why, somehow that is the fuel to your own fire, right? Not even negating the fact that you're finally deciding that you want something, but when you have a why attached to it, man, nothing can stop you. Unless that why is so weak that you can't even, it's like a bucket with holes, right? Throw the water in there and it falls right out the bottom. But most humans will have a why that's greater than themselves, right? That's greater than themselves. It usually supports someone else, which is such a beautiful thing. And when you have a why like that, somehow you can't ignore it anymore. And it gets done because of that why. So the why attached to the what. So it's like the why is the roots. And it's attached to the what it is you want. And the what now has inspired action that gets created because you've now accessed the power of your focus. You get to focus on it every single day. So when you wake up in the morning and you're creating your perfect day, whatever that might look like, you're going to give yourself that Olympic mindset, that powerful champion mindset. A champion wins, not because they're competing against someone else, but because they are winning their own game, whatever that game is. They're setting themselves up to achieve something, and when they've achieved it, they win. So a champion wins their own game. There doesn't even have to be anybody else playing that game with you. It just gets to be you against beautiful you, right? How much fun is that? And how can you lose unless you don't follow through? So don't be that person. Just follow through on what it is you want. So decide what you want. Give yourself the understanding of why you want it. Because even though you've made a declaration about what you want, there's a why anyway. Even if you're not consciously aware of it, there is one. So that's why I'm saying ask. Ask for what you want, but also ask yourself, why do I want that? And give it that fuel, that lighter fluid that's going to amplify and light up like a rocket, that desire, that want, right? And that you can call this manifestation, right? The power of focus, which is what creates manifestation. And it's visualization, which gives you the ideas of what it is you want, right? You're looking around your universe, your reality, and making declarations. You can make more than one. My invitation is to start at one to see how powerful you truly are as a human on this planet, playing this game of life. Pick one, but you can add as many as you want. But have that winning mindset. Cultivate a champion or Olympic mindset where you're setting yourself up for success on purpose. Be in your own training zone. Be in your own training zone, right? The training zone is what cultivates excellence in your life based on what it is you want, right? What you're after. It could be lifelong. It doesn't matter. The truth is you get to have it. And most people don't know that you can lean into someone to support you with that. So now here's my invitation for you. I have multiple ways that you can work with me. Multiple ways that you can actually get what you're after with the help of or the support of someone by your side, which is me. So lean out in social media, reach out to me. And next week's show will be all on visualization, actualization, and we're going to add in a bit more power of focus. We're going to go a little bit deeper. So if you really liked this show, make sure you show some love wherever you've seen it on social media or there or wherever, and join us next week. Maybe even call in because, we'll work together. I'll walk you right through it and we'll activate that power of your focus through visualization and the underlying fire of the why to get what it is you want. I mean, maybe by the following show after that, you'll call in and tell me how you got it. But make sure you come back and see us because that is the one way to ensure your success, right? That's having an Olympic or champion mindset. And a champion always wins, right? I mean, in their own game. So it's been so much fun playing with you today with the power of focus. I am really excited and thrilled to deliver possibilities for you because right now is when the world needs it most. Stop pretending you don't know what you know. Stop pretending your zone of genius doesn't exist because it does. We all came here with one. We wouldn't be alive today if we didn't have one. And we're birthing children into the world that also have a zone of genius as well. So it's not just you, it's everyone. So activate it, step into it, ask for what you want to create it here now. That's why we're here, right? So many blessings to you, so much love to you, cannot wait to play with you. This is your activating of your infinite possibilities, your awakening to what's truly possible for you in this reality. We're moving from 3D to 5D. Can you feel it? Can't wait to see you on the other side. So much love. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Crossroads to Awakening. So much love, you guys. Mwah. This is like digital kisses. Can you receive them? See you later.
Thank you for choosing to listen to the Crossroads to Awakening radio show. Wendy Paquette will return next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We look forward to you joining us again. Until then, enjoy your journey and we'll meet you at the crossroads.